Well, welcome back to Monday Market Update. I'm Gigi of Jax, the team lead of Jax Home Squad, brokered by Real, and I am in the office today with my mortgage expert. There's a lot to talk about today.
I know, I'm so excited.
Okay, so I want to let you go first because you have so much mortgage stuff to tell us.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, let's
it's
do it.
super interesting. You don't have to memorize these numbers, but the projected forecast for mortgages in 2025 is $160 billion. Billion. That's 16% up from last year,
Okay.
which means more and more people are self-employed. So non-QM products are loan products that don't fit in a box.
I like what you did
They're
there.
conventional or govies. They're outside of the norm
Okay.
that we can approve.
So what does that mean to me as a consumer?
If you're self-employed and you write off a lot on your taxes, there's ways that we can get you approved without having to show your taxes.
Oh,
So let's say you get a 1099 and you've been 1099 for 2 years, we can use the last year's 1099 and we can actually use 90% of that income as your qualifying income.
oh,
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what you write off on your taxes if you're self-employed.
interesting.
So we come across a lot of non-QM products here at First Coast because there are so many people, like I said, 160 billion projected dollars forecasted for 2025. So we're just seeing more and more self-employed people, buyers that are eager to get into homes but don't necessarily fit in the box. And also from those self-employed people, 36% are small business owners.
Oh,
Yeah, isn't that
so
interesting?
yeah, the local small businesses that represent our community. That makes sense. So it's not like you're talking about, like, when I think business, and I think a lot of people do this, we think big corporations.
Exactly.
So you're helping like the mom and dad that started
Yeah.
a sandwich shop,
Mom and
or
pops,
realtors like us.
realtors, mortgage consultants, mortgage
Mhm.
brokers, people that have social media income.
Oh yeah, that's a
we
thing
just
now.
came across one that was a professional cornhole player. Absolutely.
Okay, that's
yeah,
interesting.
so there's income being earned from all places, and
Yes.
we can help them. So it's a good thing to be creative and know those products to put our buyers in
Okay,
for you guys.
that's really good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I like that because we have all kinds of different buyers that make
We
up
do.
this whole community, which is so
Yeah.
great. And that's why I love having a resource partner like you, because then I can call you and say, this is a situation, here's the handoff, and then you can take it from there. Just like you did with the applications last
Exactly.
week that we talked about.
Yes.
And I'm so excited because I'm taking 2 sets of buyers out this
I
weekend
know.
with their pre-approvals, and we've matched it up to houses, and we're gonna go shopping. So it's so fun.
I love it.
So I want to talk about this box because you alluded to the box.
Yes.
So this box, some of you may be finding it at your doorstep and you're just like, what the heck is this? January, February, and March, Q1 of 2025, are the time that you want to think about your home's values. There's a couple things I want to talk about, I want to
Okay.
unpack.
Stop.
So I want to talk about something I've been thinking about. There's been a lot of talk on the street about this buyer broker agreement, like what forms to use, how does it impact the client. But I'm sure, like everyone else, we're just seeing, well, how does it impact the agent? Well, who cares? We care about the client, right? The client, you
Exactly.
care about you.
Exactly.
And so I wanted to talk about a concept that we might not have been thinking about. And it's this notion that, yes, it's great to go ask for, seller paid concessions and to work on behalf of your buyer. Stop, let it. So what's really been on my mind is so much talk about buyers, agents, and buyers working together to get the seller to pay some concession to pay the buyer's agent's compensation, which makes sense.
It does.
I
make
get
sense.
it.
Mhm.
But are we doing a full service if we just use the same cookie cutter approach to every transaction? And here's what I mean by that. What if it made more sense on paper for the buyer's agent to be compensated from the buyer,
Buyer. Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you can negotiate the price of the house
Yes.
separately.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, when the seller pays the buyer agent compensation, oftentimes we're seeing that kind of clumped in as one offer, and it has something to do with the price.
Well, the price, I've seen that the price actually goes up.
Right.
Yes.
And then we have some appraisal issues we have to be concerned with.
Exactly.
And the second thing is the buyer could be leaving money on the tax table,
Yes.
meaning they could be paying more in property taxes than they would need to because it's based on the purchase price.
Right, the value.
So if you're wondering what's the best strategy, we should connect and have that conversation, and I can give you some different tools and tips from the real estate side of what pricing strategy or what offer negotiation strategy we should go with. And then the thing I love about working with you, Lisa, is that you also are really good with creativity with loans.
Right. So there are places where we can cut cost, rate buy downs, what have you, to use that money, because a lot of buyers think that they can't afford the buyer broker commission, but they actually can, because we're cutting costs in other places. So you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So unless they apply and we figure out some numbers and talk it through, that way before, even before they go under contract, we can talk about that.
And that's what I want
Yes.
to say is, when you're working with an agent, it's very important to ask their expert opinion,
Yes.
but they also should have a panel of experts, like
Behind them.
2 or
yes.
3 lenders for you to talk to, you know, title experts, insurance. Like, it takes a team to put the strategy together, and I'm so glad we have that.
Yes. I'm so glad to partner with you. That way we both understand each side of it.
Love it.
So, I stepped outside today. It is freezing. It's 44 degrees.
I know. And so the weather this week has been kind of like this.
Yes.
And it's made me think about that's how some buyers are feeling right now.
Yeah.
They're like toe in, toe out. You're seeing contracts come into place and fall out of
Yes.
place. That is a normal market.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing to help our clients is to set the expectation out of the gate.
Right up front. I've always
Here's
said
what's
that.
going on.
Mhm.
Here's what we can expect. Properly vetting out buyers, pre-approvals, making sure that the lender has everything that they would need to pre-underwrite it.
Yeah.
Making sure we're not going on showings that we're not going to actually think about writing an offer.
Yeah.
So we've just been doing a lot of buyer discovery calls and a lot of seller strategy sessions. And so as a result of that, I've gotten some really good feedback, and I've made this little package to where when you're going to buy a home, we can go through a step-by-step process that we won't fail. And the same is going to be
Love
true
that.
on the sell side. And so that's part of what's in that box we had earlier.
Yes.
But I wanted to say that one of the houses that was for sale last week in
Yeah.
Julian Trippitt
It's
Plantation is under contract.
Woo!
Yay, I'm so excited
I
for
love
that
it.
agent and their seller and their clients. So that's super exciting. And 3 of the homes have had price improvements.
Oh my gosh, those have to be announced.
They have to be announced.
Yeah.
And so it's very important that we get the price right the first time if we can.
Yes.
But what we're going to see in this market is that there might be 1 to 2 price alignments that need to happen just to get right into the market. And I had a client ask me a question this week. So can I
Okay.
share it with you guys?
Yes.
So I had a client ask me about an opinion of value on his home.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not an appraiser, so I can't technically do that, but I can give you market insights. And so he was really pushing back on the pricing strategy because another agent had told him a different price. And when we were talking, I try to understand, like, where is the seller's head?
Yeah.
And so he said to me, well, this is the price. And I said, well, I'm just curious, why is that? Well, because I have a pool and it's $50,000 in value.
Yeah.
And I said, well, is that because the appraiser told you that? And he said, well, no, that's how much I paid. So I want to talk about what you paid does not translate into what is valued by the appraiser
Right.
or the buyer,
Right.
right? So some things we do because it enhances the appearance, it makes the home show better. Those are not value add items in terms of return on investment.
Exactly.
However, they might bring more traffic. Buyers might be able to envision themselves there, like staging.
Well, and it's enticing if a pool versus a non-pool home.
If the buyer wants that.
If the buyer wants a pool.
Mhm.
But it depends on what has sold in the area during a specific amount of time.
Right.
Is how they're gonna value your
Exactly.
home. So it
And
does
so-
go truly by the market.
Right. And that's what we did for him. We connected
Yeah.
him with a private appraiser and said, why don't you get a private appraisal?
Right.
That way you can at least just have it for information.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good question of the week. And if you're
Yes.
struggling with this, I'd be happy to do a walkthrough of your home and just give you some tips on what buyers are looking for right now in this
Yeah.
market. And then what we're seeing on appraisals as value add items.
Yes.
So that was something that came up this week I wanted to share. The other thing I want to share is this. Stop pricing like it is 2020 because it's not.
It's not.
This is not a
We're in a
test
different
market.
time. Right.
Are you seeing that?
Yes.
We got some hangover.
Yeah,
And I want to
Yeah, we
free our community of this. Price it to sell or don't price it at all.
yes.
I said what I said.
You said what you said, and
I did.
I'm gonna circle back
Okay.
to what you said about what they think the value is.
Mhm.
And I sent you these before, is the home value is called a House Canary.
Yes.
That has a ton of information in there, what has sold in the area, what it was listed for, what it sold for, the date that it sold.
We should do this for him.
Okay,
And we'll do more of these. So if you guys have a question that you want to bring over to myself or Lisa, throw it out there. You can DM us, you can comment below on this video, however you're watching it, and we'll do that.